I know the story. Vaginas are beautiful. Our self-hatred is only the internalized repression and hatred of the patriarchal culture. Pussy tonight! Like, if we'd been born into a culture where we were taught that fat thighs were beautiful, we'd spend our days pounding back milkshakes and Krispy Kremes, lying on our backs, thigh expanding. But we didn't grow up in that culture. I hated my thighs, and hated my vagina even more. I thought it was incredibly ugly. I was one of those women who had looked at it, and from that moment on, wish I had it. It made me sick. I'd hate anyone who had to go down there. In order to survive, I began to pretend there was something else between my legs. Like furniture. Dolls with like cotton comforters, velvet tees or leopard rugs, or pretty things like silk handkerchiefs, quilted pot holders, or place settings. I got so accustomed to this that I lost all memory of having a vagina. Whenever a man was inside me, I pictured him inside a midline muffler. Or a Chinese bowl. Then I met Bob. Bob was the most ordinary man I ever met. He was tall and thin and nondescript and wore khaki tan clothes. He didn't always wear foods or prints. He had no interest in sexy lingerie. In the summer, he spent time in the shade. He did not share his inner feelings. He had no problems or issues and was not even an alcoholic. Particularly funny or articulate or mysterious. He wasn't mean or unavailable. He wasn't self-involved or charismatic. He didn't drive fast. I didn't particularly like Bob. I would have missed him altogether if he hadn't picked up my change that I dropped on the deli floor. When he handed me back my quarters and pennies and his hand accidentally touched mine, something happened. I went to bed with him. And that's when the miracle occurred. It turned out Bob loved vaginas. He was a connoisseur. He loved the way they felt, the way they tasted, the way they smelled, but most of all, he loved the way they looked. He had to look at them. The first time we had sex, he told me he had to see me. I'm right here, I said. No, you, he said. I have to see you. Turn on the light, I said. Thinking he was some kind of weirdo and freaked me out in the dark. He turned on the light. Then he said, okay, I'm ready. Ready to see you. I'm here. Right here. He began to undress me. What are you doing, Bob? I said. I need to see you, he said. No need, I said. Just do it. I saw that, he said, and more, much more. He stayed looking for almost an hour, as though we were studying a map, observing the moon, or staring into my eyes. But it was my vagina. In the light, I watched him looking at me, and he was so genuinely excited, so peaceful and euphoric, that I began to get wet and turned on. I began to see myself the way he saw me, like a great painting or a watercolor. Bob wasn't grossed out. He wasn't afraid. I began to swell, began to feel proud, began to love my vagina. And Bob was lost there. And I was there with him, in my vagina, and we were gone.